To be talking about how to use conditionals. Now, conditionals are if-then statements, and that just says if something's true, run certain code. If it's not true, run different code, right? This is how a computer makes decisions. It's how you make decisions, right? Like you say, if it's raining out, I'll bring an umbrella. If it's not raining out, I won't. So the same thing with computers, and it's easy to write, and it'll make our applications a lot more responsive to the user. So without further ado, let's get into it. Today's app is called Are You a Psychic? The user will guess what animal you're thinking of and what number we're thinking of, okay? Now, we have two inputs here. We have our animal input and we have our number input, all right? And when we press the guess button, what should happen is that right here, it should pop up if they're right or wrong. That's it. Simple thing. So we're going to start with the animal one. The user writes in what animal is. Let's say they say cat. They're going to press guess, and right here it should tell them right or wrong. So let's get into it. The first step is going to be, obviously, make this button clickable, right? So I'm going to say let animal button equal document dot query selector, and I'll go over here and we'll look at the ID of the button. It is animal submit. Okay. So let's come over here. Say this hashtag animal submit. Oh, come on, Seagull. You got to put your quotes. Boom. All right. Now to make it clickable, don't forget we're going to add an event listener. So we're going to say animal button dot add event listener, and when we click on it, we're going to do something, and this is where the magic's going to happen, right? So the question is, what animal am I thinking of? If I press cat, I press guess, it'll pop up here. Now the first step to do this, right, is we have to be able to see the value of what the user typed. So let's just do this. We'll say let animal input equal, well, let's just put animal. Why are we being fancy here? We'll just say let animal equal document dot query selector, and let's go to here. If you look here, the ID is animal, and we're going to go back here, hashtag this, and then remember you have to get the value of it. So this will get the value of the input. So just to be clear, we're referencing the input and then getting the value out of it. Now just to see if this is working, let's console.log to see if animal works. So let's see. Now if I put cat here, I should see cat in my console. Great, I got the value out. Now, something I see a lot of students doing is they code too much. They're not checking to see if each line of code works. You should be checking to see if your button works, then check to see if you're getting the value out. Console logging constantly will make sure that you have less errors, and if you do have an error, you're able to solve it because there's less code to go through. So it's good to just console log things out constantly. It's a great habit for coders. All right, now this is the new stuff for today. We've done all this, right? We've done button clicking. We know how to make value pop up. The real thing is the conditional. So how do you write a conditional? We write the word if, and then you put parentheses, and then you put curly braces. In here is where you put something that could be true or false. This is the condition you want to check. This one I want to see is animal. That's what the user wrote, equal to, and my favorite animal is cat. All right. Now here, this is where we're just going to say this, alert, correct. All right, we'll do the basic version of this. So now if they press cat and they press guess, notice how correct pops up. Now here's the problem here. If I put something else in, let's say I put dog, notice how the user doesn't see, like they won't know. So if they don't have the console open, let's just put this away, right? And they just press this, they don't know that nothing's happening. No one told them that they're wrong. So that's a weird user interaction. So a good thing to do is write an else statement. This is what happens if this isn't true, right? And this is where we're going to say wrong. Okay? So now I can put cat, tells me I'm right, and I can put any animal, ferret, whatever, it's spelled wrong, teferif, and it says wrong. So this is if this thing is true, and then right after that we can write else, and that will be it. Now, we do want to make it, alerts, like I said, they're not the right way to be doing something. That's not great. We should have the answer pop up here if they're right or wrong. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to reference this box. This is where we want the content to go. So I'm going to say let content equal document.query selector. All right, go here. We'll look at the ID of where the content's going. It's in content 1. The reason it's called content 1 is because there's 2 content boxes, right? So there's 1 and 2. So I'm going to put here Okay. And then I'll say content.innerHTML equals correct. You are psychic. Okay. So now let's try it. If I put cat in here, there we go. Now let's do the wrong case. We just copy and paste this. Let's be really super lazy about this. Okay. This will go in content one, and we'll say wrong. You are not a psychic. So let's try it out. Cat, you correct. You're a psychic. Dog, wrong. You are not a psychic. Great. So once again, we're going to do this again just for more practice to see, can we do this for a number, right? We want the same thing to happen. They're going to guess a number. We'll just have this as a number input, right? And they can then press the guess button and have that pop up. Now, because I am lazy and I know that this first button works, I'm just going to copy one button. Now, I want to be clear about something here. It is okay to copy and paste things, but don't do it. A lot of kids just like, let's do it 17 times. That is such a bad way to code. One thing at a time, make sure it works, move on to the next one, right? Go slow and intentionally. All right, so the first thing, so here, we'll just copy and paste this. This is all about the same. So the next one we have to do our number button. Now, something I see kids doing also is they put a dash here because when they look here, they see a dash. Well, this should be called number submit. Come on, Siegel. They see a dash here, so they'll put a dash in their JavaScript variable. You can't do it in the variable. You can do it here in the quotes. When you're doing document quotes, you could put the dash here because that is exactly as it's written here. That's okay, but you cannot name your variables with a dash, just to be clear. So you do have to remove that there. So okay here, not okay there. So number button. Now this was called number submit for that. Now we're going to change this to number button. Okay, so now it lists for that. Now the input, let's call this number, right? And let's check out the ID. The ID here is number, right? Now we're not going to console log this. Well, yeah, you could. Like I said, it's best practice, but we're not going to do that. And here in our conditional, we're checking to see if the number, and the number I'm always thinking of is 6. All right, let's see if our second one works now too, except, well, let's see. I want you to try to guess what I did wrong here. I forgot to do one thing, all right? So if I put in, let's say 5, well, let's say if I put in 6 here, 6, see how the content pops up in the wrong place? I forgot to change the content box where it's going. Here it's going content 2. So let's go here, change this to content 2, and now I have my app that works. So my first one, cat, correct, I'm a psychic. Second one, 6, correct, I'm a psychic. Now let's say I put 7, wrong, dog, no. All right. That's basically the whole lesson. The big thing is the if and else, right? Everything else here should seem familiar. Making buttons click, getting input values, changing the inner HTML things. That's all done before. It is checking to see if things are true. All right, that's it for this lesson. Good luck on your lab.